Okay, so Sat Sri Akal ji, and welcome to everybody. It's 8 o'clock. It's a Wednesday evening, and as always, I'm always joined by a fantastic, a brilliant, a wonderful guest. And this is a Surinder Rattan take two. We found him in America last time, but I'm sure he's somewhere up north this time. Hopefully, not watching football. But a big welcome. To a great friend of mine and a great ambassador of Punjabi music and Bhangra music and UK music. So please welcome the great Surinder Rattan. Surinder, welcome. It's
Thank
great
you,
to
sir.
have you
Thank you.
in the UK, first of all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was a bit mad last time in America with you.
Yeah, last time we tried to connect in America, and who would have thought that you would have internet problems in America? But however, it could have been made up because you were at a wine tasting place. So
I was at a wine tasting place, a vineyard. Yeah.
So is that something are you a wine connoisseur or is something you're interested in?
It was actually an event happening there,
right.
And it just happened to be a vineyard. So that was just a bit of a coincidence. But I had a completely left field event at that place,
right?
And that's what I was kind of there for, to attend.
Right.
And I just got a chance to see the vineyard, as you know.
Okay.
So it looked lovely. So I just thought I might as well have a little tour of this place while I'm here for this event.
And did you get to taste any? Are you a red man or a white man, as they say? I'm not really a wine man.
To be honest with you, I'm not really a drinker. I rarely drink, but what I do know is what wine you should drink when you're having a particular type of food, for example. Stuff like that. Okay. You know what I mean? Like red for meat, white for fish, etc. Stuff like that. So
what would you recommend?
If the chance ever came, I'd make sure I choose the right one, basically.
What would you recommend for roti then? Roti and chicken curry?
Red.
Okay. Actually, it is quite amazing. So I suppose sometimes people who don't know, like me, don't actually appreciate the thought and everything that goes into a drink with a meal or wine with a meal and just the price of it all and how it's all actually cultivated.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's just more decadent and like certain parts of the world in it, they just take more interest in them kind of things rather than ourselves, I suppose.
Yeah,
we're just hardcore guys, just make it out of good, and that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the best way to make it. The beauty of being on the internet and having a cup of tea while talking to Surinder Rattan, life doesn't actually get any better than this.
Well, you said it was tea in it.
Well, I won't tip the cup, but it is jar, honestly. It's jar. And actually, I must say, next time you're in Birmingham, I'll have to make a cup of tea because I do see myself as a bit of a desi jar specialist, really.
Oh, are you? Oh, right. Okay, excellent. I'll be up for that.
I do, and I have I have uploaded a video on my YouTube, me making a jar, and when I shared it with my sort of English friends or friends who are not familiar with desi jar, they go 15 minutes to make a cup of tea. I said that was a quick one.
Crazy.
Surinder, your fans from Italy, Surinder's online and everything. Can I just say also, people online, because last week we had a huge response. The great Mangal Singh was on, and because we're in conversation, I'm in conversation with the artist. I can't always read your messages, but I do read them and I do take on what you say and that you want to give your messages. And also the guest actually sees the messages as well. So thank you. Do keep it interactive, and wherever I can, I will mention and say hello to you. It's a bit like Kushti at the moment. He's on.
Man like Kushti.
He's on. Yeah, Kushti.
I'm glad he's better.
Again, a great follower and a great ambassador of music. We'll have to get a Kushti on the show as well because one of the people in the background who've done so much in putting shows together.
It gave everybody like in my generation the platforms to produce our music, basically, in terms of like we could make our tunes. Kushti's got events coming on. He gives us a platform. We could play our tunes. Yeah. You'd gauge your songs sometimes by crowd reactions before they came out and stuff like that. And that was very important. And that would help you also like in the studio and stuff like that, because you're engaging with the crowd. You're getting a chance to do it. And the way I look at it, me personally, is, oh, thank God, like Kushti got me this platform, because I wouldn't have been able to play my music. I actually met Movie Box at Kushti's events. That's how they actually signed me. I was playing the remixes and they heard them. They were at his event.
There you go.
So
thank you, Kushti. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to talk about live events. You're still on the scene. You're still playing. You're still DJing. I'm sure I saw something the other day. You were playing at one of the clubs.
In Birmingham, yeah, the Arc, yeah,
Yeah,
with
in
Cheshire
Birmingham,
Cats.
you were in Birmingham as well. I mean, tell me, Surinder, because obviously you've been in the industry for quite a long time, and music has taken a change. But what are the crowds like? Because you've always played like to the university crowds, to the young crowds. I'm sure I must have been in a gig where you've played, and obviously I'm like 50 odd now. So is there a change in music? Is there a change in culture? Is there a change in our youth, how they see music, how they perceive music? I mean, give us a bit of an insight into that.
Yeah, it's completely changed. It's completely changed. I think it's kind of caught up the way a mainstream audience would perceive music and appreciate it. So a lot of where in the past it was only like a few lads that were on that kind of thing to like progress with the times, see what was happening in mainstream audiences and circles, and basically the mainstream social culture, and trying to adapt or trying to put that into our own Bhangra Desi culture, who weren't really following social mainstream culture. They had their own kind of like vibe and how to do things kind of thing.
Yeah.
So obviously, as you've seen yourself, social media is obviously a massive thing in the social culture of the world, basically, isn't it? And obviously, you can see how it's taken by our people, India, etc. It's really, really big there.
Yeah.
So, and I think in the past, obviously the technology wasn't there, and that wasn't there, wasn't really a thing to look at. But some people were still obviously interacting online and doing what they could, because they realised that might be the way forward. And audiences, younger children, they're just there. It's like a song a week, a song a day. It's that kind of mentality. They're just swiping across. Heard the first song, swipe across. Heard the second one, keep going, keep going, keep going. So that's why you find people need to just keep dropping content, because it's all, again, to do with social media. People want content. So whether that's music, video, cartoon, whatever it is, people just want it. The demand's there. So TikTok tells you that, people's songs going crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, in our
playing
case,
a big part.
Sorry.
I'm just saying it plays a big part. And obviously musically, people still sometimes say, oh yeah, it's very modern. It's very modern. We don't realize in 2022, of course it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't expect Punjabi music to be playing like since it was in the 1800s, 1900s. Obviously, it has to develop and evolve.
Yeah.
No one's saying that the culture and tradition should be lost, because that's still performed and it still brings in massive crowds to this day. So it's never going to be lost, because that's our culture, isn't it? It's always going to be there, no matter what. But that doesn't mean to say you can't develop the music to adhere to people's new listening tastes, because the way they've grown up differently in a different world with the internet, different music's thrown at them. So the ear's more developed, they're hearing different kinds of stuff. And obviously you want to obviously put your culture across. And obviously people growing up in this day and age, you've got to implement your culture to them, and obviously a musical culture. So it's difficult. So people try to find a blend to hit that new generation of kids who are growing up really in a westernized way culture, and basically have a bit of their tradition and culture in them, in it. So how do we approach that? That's the way I look at it. I just think, okay, so you're always developing your sound, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why I still play to university crowds. My music is obviously aimed at that generation. So the guy I was making music for, who was 18 10 years ago, is now 28. So I'm looking at an 18-year-old kid again, like what you listen to.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was saying. That because you're still playing to that crowd. You're still playing at the university crowd, and we were at the Bhangra showdown the other day, and it's so nice, so refreshing to see that love for Bhangra, for the culture of it. It's still there. Within our children, because my children are that age as well now, and it's just beautiful to see. So with you as a developing or forever evolving music producer, so social media, obviously the social media is coming within your time as well, where at one point you used to, like you said, go to maybe Kushti shows and try out songs there, but now
at that time, me, Cully, God rest his soul, RDB, we were like a bit IT geeks at that time. So we were already on like social media. We had a website. I had a domain which was called bangra.co.uk, which is, if you can imagine, is quite prevalent then. I still have that. And at that time, RDB's music was getting played worldwide via that website. That used to be the domain name for it, stroke RDB, as it were. and all the remixes and mixes were all on there. So people around the world were getting to know us via our social media. You could call it social media, but it was our website domain, right?
Yeah.
But it was all IT based, and that's the way we thought everything was going forward.
Wow.
And hence, you know, we were
so
doing
you were
it.
sort of ahead of your time
Uh,
then, or we were just behind.
No. It's just it depends on the person, really. I'm sure there was internet that just come about. Don't forget, it was modems then, weren't it?
Mm-hmm.
There was no
Yeah,
broadcast. I was using dial-up modem.
Yeah.
And in the late 90s, I was at university and stuff like that. So it was from there, really, it all took off. After 2000s, you know what I mean? 99, finished university. And the music started happening then. And obviously, we were IT geeks, me and Cully. So we wanted to incorporate our music via some kind of internet platform. We saw that as a platform, the internet, to get across the world.
I mean, the whole RDB, it was rhythm, doll, and bass. Is that where the RDB kind of?
Yeah. We actually used to call it roti, dal, and bread.
Well, there you go. Roti, dal, and butter as well, but roti, dal, and bread, and it has worked for you. You know, given you roti, hasn't it? You are a full-time musician.
The RDB guys, it did, yeah. I was doing my own as Surinder Rattan, back to basics, as it were.
Yeah.
And like I've said this a million times before, when I met RDB, we decided to work together. Decided to I was already dropping an album with Movie Box, and decided to bring them through, as it were, launch them to get out there, because I thought they were brilliant and very talented when I met them. So yeah, that's how.
I mean, the Surinder Rattan brand still going on for such a long time, and how not difficult isn't the word, but how challenging is it to keep that brand going and to keep evolving the Surinder Rattan music side of things?
I think if you love music, there's something inside you, that kind of thing, where you automatically evolve, because you're always hearing what the new sound is on the street, and the new sound obviously attracts young people, and that's the culture, and we'll follow it. For example, drill. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Drum music seems to be the sound when Afrobeats was. So I was just following, and always followed what's on the street, basically. What is the culture on the street? What are the youth listening to? And my sounds and developed is based around there. And because I enjoy urban music anyways, what I've grown up on, it's just like second nature kind of thing. Oh, is that new sound? Let me hear it. Okay. I didn't like drill to begin with, in the beginning of the early days of drill. And then when it started to develop more, that's when it really started to appeal to me. So
I mean, the days of the lick, what a huge album. I mean, that music, you can still listen to it, and it's still fresh as ever. Where did you find that freshness?
It still gets played. I think it's because it's urban music, and I think urban music, depending on the genres, they always come around again. If they go out of date, they always come back, kind of thing. Drum and bass, Afro beats, garage, UK garage. So at the moment, UK garage is at its turnaround, especially in the South Asian kind of scene down in London with the Daytimers, etc. Big up to them. They did the documentary Ministry of Sound.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
With Young Singh. And they revived the whole scene in terms of that kind of sound and Asian underground, basically. So yeah, big up to them. So, and that's what it is, basically, as you can see. So you're hearing that, you're hearing people still listen to that sound. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, tell me about when Excellency came up to you with the Tappe, with Harbhajan Talwar. Obviously, I'm talking about Tappe Gal Mukki Na Sajjana Nalu Meri Rabba Ve Teri Raat Mungi. I mean, did you straight away knew that this is the music I'm going to put to it, or was the music first made, or did you all sit and, because obviously that's one of your huge hits that still is, even today and for years to come, will still be played.
Yeah, what happened was I actually I knew I wanted to do a garage track, so I knew what kind of tempo I wanted to make it work. So I was looking for something on a particular tempo, because I thought that would fit garage, which was around 133 at the time. I wanted it to be 130, 133, and I was trying to approach different singers, and a few were turning me down. They weren't too sure, I don't think. And Excellency Talwar said, no, come down to my house. He was very kind. And I went down to his house. I had basin and tea with him. Absolutely fire, bro. And actually,
he always has a story to tell as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, Kushti was the person who actually took me.
Yes, yeah. All right. Well done,
house.
Kushti. Thank you.
Yeah, and we sat down, and I said to H, I said, this is the type of tempo I need, or this type of song. So he goes, 1 minute, and he's going through his paperwork. He goes, I got this. And as soon as he sang it, I just started tapping my knee, and I thought, oh, this fits that tempo. This sounds wicked. I said, yeah, that'll do. And he only sang like the first 2-3 bars off it. But obviously, for a while, when he sings, he sounds wicked, isn't it? So when he's singing that in front of you, you just go, yeah. this is going to sound good with his powerful voice. And cut a long story short, yeah, we got that. And he came to the studio, recorded it. And I was like over the moon. I thought, okay.
Wow.
I only got the realization of it is when I hit Kushti's gig again, funny, at the Equinox in London. Was it the Equinox? I think it was the WAG Club in London, New Year's Eve.
Right.
It was. It just been released, and I went there, and he goes, "Watch what happens when you play it." And as soon as I played it, the crowd went bonkers and started singing it. Yeah. And I've rewinded it. I've gone, "Oh my God, they're singing my song." Usually, I'm putting the fader down with other people's songs, B21, I'm DJing, and I'm always the DJ that puts the faders down, makes the crowd sing the chorus or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, a bit shocked to me when it's happened to my own song.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, "Oh my God, the crowd are actually singing my song now."
Yeah.
Well, the one that I've made. So it was crazy. And then obviously it became a genre of its own because everybody wanted to do a Punjabi garage song after that. It became the new craze. Because I think also it gave platform to a whole new set of artists that I don't think Sukhi, wouldn't have been able to show their skills on a Bhangra song.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the MCs in it.
Yeah. I was gonna mention.
So people like G.I. Jat and something like that.
Yeah.
No offense to him, but you wouldn't hear him on a traditional Hira song, would you?
Yeah.
Of music of that time. It'd have to be a garage song. It'd have to be something like that where he would fit them beautifully and sound sick on it. Say, for example, him, HMC, Metrix, all these guys would sound sick on that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
and they were obviously they were new generation kids who spoke mainly English as well. And they wanted to show that skill on a Punjabi song. So they weren't going to sing their Punjabi singing. They wanted to do what they were good at. So it kind of
in a way you kind of open the door for so many others and for a different genre of music with Punjabi lyrics, really. And I mean, you mentioned Metrix as well because they're Manchester lads and they're near you as well. And you've worked quite closely with them for so many albums. And tell us a little bit about their journey with your journey as well, because you will always go hand in hand.
Yeah, well, I met Metz when I was making the album, and I watched him at an event and approached him basically, and he obviously then got into the studio with me. We recorded it, and after that, I'm just breaking this down, bro, because I'll be
go for it.
And he basically, once the song was out, I think he was a bit apprehensive of how it would do or not realize the impact. But then when he certainly started, when the video came out, he started getting stopped in the street.
Yeah.
From lots of people, his own age group, girls, etc. With every city he went to.
Yeah.
And then he realized, hold on a minute, I've got fans here. What's going on?
Yeah. He's just such a lovely guy as well.
Yeah, he was very humbled with it. He rang me up saying, Surinder, I'm getting stopped in the street. I think the song's going to be doing well. And because we're based in Manchester, we're not really in the old social circles and media thing from Birmingham to knowing the song's doing well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're just in Manchester. We're only getting told from people from Midlands, the song's killing it here. It is. And don't forget, there's not really no WhatsApp then, so we're making phone calls. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're getting told like that. So we're thinking, okay, the song's doing well. And then obviously when we done the Midland Nottingham, and it was the Upper Night Arts Midland or something we did, and we played that song. The crowd started going mental, screaming for it, singing it. And that's when I think me and Metz realized, I said, well, Metz, you got tons of fans here, mate. They're going mental for you.
Yeah.
Because he was getting stopped. People are queuing up, trying to take photos with him and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
He's probably getting worried. It's probably funny. Yeah, funny. Hey, buddy.
We were
what's going on?
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to remember, he's a young lad. He's in the music game. And he's already doing club live events. But he's really just doing it straightforward for the mainstream Gora crowd, really, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And all of a sudden, he's being thrown into his own culture, not thinking it would be trendy, but he's realised now what I'm doing is trendy and cool to everybody.
Yeah.
And I've got a massive fan base. Yeah. So obviously, Metz and Tricks after that with Amber Saria.
Oh, With the Meshi Baju Shah.
Worldwide, that song, Worldwide, smash
Meshi
it.
Ashara, yeah.
And Australia, they go mental for that song.
Yeah.
India, Ajamahi, we met some tricks RDB did. You know, these are worldwide anthems, like worldwide anthems played all over the world, weddings, parties, whatever, and people know their brand and their name.
Yeah,
obviously because of these songs.
Yeah.
Again, on Hassan.
Does he ever feel to you? Obviously, you're the creator of these songs and creator of this music. You know, obviously, today we're talking about Excellency or Ambarsaria or Mets and Tricks and stuff. Do you ever think, like, you know, the Surinder, the producer, the directors don't necessarily get the fame side of things as they should deserve? Obviously, you've done yours you've done you're more than just a music director. You actually put yourself out there and you're a DJ as well.
Yeah, I think what it is, it depends how you want to portray yourself.
Sure.
If you want to put yourself up there, I think people who know me will know me. I'm not really the one to like go on the camera and start dancing and start doing mad moves for the camera shot. I start laughing at myself.
I love to see that.
I've tried to do it in the mirror with a brush, mate, and I start laughing. So I find it very difficult. I tried to do silly poses in the mirror. So I'll do this when the video comes out, and the moment I do it, I make myself laugh. So I think to myself, oh, and people that know me know my character. They think that's not me. So I think I'd be faking it, and that's the last thing I want to do on screen. So when you see me sometimes in videos doing little cameo shots or little covering their screens, that's just me. I'm just saying, look, I'm happy with the cameo shot. People know it's me.
Yeah.
What's important for me is people know that Surinder Rattan made it.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because my surname carries like my grandfather's name, my granddad's name.
Oh, you know, I was gonna. That was what I was. That was on the tip of my tongue to say. You have such a musical name. So does music exist in the family? Is that what?
Yeah, my dad and my uncles, they all played instruments, sang.
Right.
And it's been like that. And over the like family members who do like Guyanese stuff and stuff like that, or classical gifting and stuff like that around the world. So it's always been there, but more so my family, because my dad was born here, my uncles were born here, you see. So when they were singing, I was hearing it in the rooms in the house, and they were the singing all the time. So that influence obviously came from them.
Have they never come to you and said, "Mera bhi gana kar de"?
The way my dad kept me on the floor was like, if I'd come back and say, "Oh, I've just won this gold disc for my music," my dad, to humble me, said, "That's all right. Go and clean the dog crap outside." You know. He wouldn't let me get on top of anything. Yeah. He was like very like that disciplined with me because I was his eldest son, I suppose, innit? So he kept me in good shape. That did, innit?
Yeah.
So that's what's kept me humble, really. So basically, like you were saying, I don't too bother. As long as the song's a hit, like Hassas when I made Hassas, just Ari, as long as the song is a hit and that stays in people's minds, I'm happy with that, because people who know who bought it, or people in the industry will know, Surinder's made this, Surinder's made this.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a stamp that you have on your music, and you kind of instantly know, you know, it is a Surinder Rattan tune. I mean, what about Jogga as well? You know, I was just thinking about something came up on Facebook the other day. I remember when we got together I think it was in Birmingham, and Jogga. I thought, I wonder how Jogga's. Then I thought, I'm talking to Surinder Rattan today, and I'll ask him, how's Jogga doing?
Oh, Jogga's doing very well. He's doing a lot of live performances.
Is it? Oh, is this okay?
Yeah, he started to get on the live circuit, which is good. And he's just jogging away doing that, basically.
Wow. Surinder, what's coming out of the Surinder studios now then? What's in the making? Or because we've had 2 years of COVID, so you've had plenty of time to work home and do whatever things. So what's coming?
Got some great singers I'm working with. I'm working with some new types of a new generation of singers, kind of thing. Some of them are just singing straight English, like Punjabi guys and stuff.
Okay.
And I've also working with some of the established ones. I've got some releases coming. I've worked with Lakawunda, with Ali. So
oh wow, okay.
And with Deep Jandu just recently, and so I've got quite a few tracks coming out with some established singers. But I'm always looking for new talent, working with new singers, and that's always been my thing, in it, to introduce like new talent. And so that's my main priority, because the way I look at it, a song is a song. You know, it doesn't matter who sang it. If it's a good voice and it's a good song, the song will always do well. It'll always do well. It doesn't matter if Mr. X sang it or Mr. Natwalal sang it. There's no one's ever heard of.
Mr. Natwalal. God, you're going back now. You're showing our age we are now.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I mean, Lakwinder Vadali, that's an interesting one because obviously I'm a big
That's
fan.
a garage track.
Of Lakwinder Vadali as well. I was going to say how because obviously he has a great background coming of Qawwalis and classical music as well. So I think that would be quite a good combination.
My passion is classical music. My teachers, I don't know if you've heard of them, Niazi Khan Sahab, Javed Niazi Khan Sahab, and Baba Javed Niazi Khan Sahab. Their dad was a famous singer, writer, Tafel Niazi Khan Sahab.
Right.
And I was lucky to meet them at the Edinburgh Festival.
Oh, right.
And these guys started telling me about the songs they've written for Hansraj Hans and all these people that come to the house and telling me who they were. They were there performing Sufi music. And cut a long story short, they said, we have to leave. It's a shame we're going to not speak again. We have to go to another city and we're going to be there for a month. And I said, oh, right. What city is that? You know which city it was? It was Manchester.
Manchester.
Yeah. So that was a shock to me. So I was very lucky. And we've stayed in touch. We do Zoom calls and stuff like that. And we did like Shirgardira, some like in Birmingham actually.
Okay.
And I became their student. So I just learn it just for the knowledge. Not to say I'm going to be some like amazing Glasgow singer.
Yeah.
I learn it for the harmonium skills, to understand sargam, to understand what I'm like trying to portray. Yeah. And so when I'm doing music, it plays a big influence in it because you can play a couple of rags and make a riff, for example, which you wouldn't even thought of. So it helps me a great deal.
Yeah. So are you vocally training as well, or are you just on the
no, not at the moment. No. I'm just learning harmonium, taking one step at a time, learning the theory behind it, learning the harmonium skills. And I think once you start learning the harmonium skills, you start humming the Sare Ga. I think the vocals, the track straight away.
Wow, that's amazing. But you have got an album sort of ready, though, haven't you? I've heard some on the grapevine. I heard on the grapevine that the album's ready.
Most of the album's ready, sorry. And it just needs a few rejigging on some of the tracks, which I've had there for a while, because the album's been ready for a while, as you know. And but I need to just make a few adjustments for the current trends, really.
Yeah. And is it still that exciting as it used to be? Because you were releasing a whole album, the release date was announced, and then there was a release party. But now it's kind of almost like a build up on the internet and coming on the 23rd, and here it is, and 2 hours.
Yeah, it's more of a buzz because now on the laptop, like you say, you put it on the internet, but I'm dealing with the world, not dealing with Birmingham, Manchester.
Okay, yeah.
Dealing with the world. Somebody in Canada, Toronto might be messaging you saying, I love the track, etc.
Yeah.
It's buying the song, you're marketing it to that particular platform, you're checking your Spotify, you're finding out where most of your streams are coming from, which areas, and you're marketing it there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for me, that's a bit more fun because I'm in control of it. I have my own label.
Okay.
I can see my own stats. I can see my own analytics, where it's doing well, where it's not, where the streams are coming from. I can see everything right in front of me. Where in the past, relying on a label to tell me that information, and I'm only being told the information. I'm not seeing it visually in any way. You know, the song is doing well. Here's a gold disc, brilliant. You know what I mean? And now, because you run your own label, which is fair, I can see my own figures. I can see my own streams. I can see what I've sold, what I haven't, what's not doing well, etc. And you just work from there, and you just keep moving from there. There's making music, and there's also different avenues as well for people to think, okay, I just got to get a release out, or I've got to make a song for release. But if you want to earn income and make it a living, there's different income streams for it. You can be making music where you've just made instrumentals, for example, and you can send them to a sync company.
Right.
But the sync company then will basically see whether or not they like that instrument or might want to use it for a TV marketing campaign, for an advert.
Right. Okay. So you're clearly enjoying the business side of music.
Yeah,
which is quite refreshing.
And a lot of musicians, I was speaking to one the other day, that they're not too aware of these other income paths and streams. Sure. They're not aware of them. They just think you have to release a song, and if the song sells in millions, then they made loads of money, and that's the only way you make money from music. But for me, it's a full-time career. It's not just about releasing singles every minute. There's other aspects of it as well.
Yeah.
Which is good.
No, that's brilliant, Surinder. Thank you for honesty as always, and thank you for the music. And we look forward to the release. Is there any date on the release of the album? Anything yet? I know you're saying still
in the next couple of months that the album will be ready. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Likewise. I'm glad we have a great connection this time. You know, obviously last time.
Exactly. Yeah.
My apologies last time, but it's nice, short and punchy for you. I'll let you get back to your Bagheera in the back. We were talking about earlier about your dog, which is called Bagheera. Are you a fan of Jungle Book? Is that where the name comes from?
What it is my dog's a Cane Corso. He's about the size of Bagheera, and
oh my God.
And it does come from Jungle Book. Yeah, he's all black with yellow eyes.
Oh.
So he does look like a panther.
Okay. Well, big hello to Bagheera. Big hello to your family. Big hello to the Rattan name out there. Thank you very much for joining us, Surinder. It's always a pleasure. Take care. Hook up soon. See you soon, and wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, guys, on the Punjab 2000 platforms. Thank you so much. Always great to have your company. My sincere thanks to Tej, who's back in the studio sorting out all the technical stuff. We'll be back next week. On Wednesday evening here on the Punjab 2000 platforms. Thank you to all the Punjab 2000 team. Thank you to Kushti. Thank you to Jugan. Thank you to Surinder. Thank you to everybody who sent us their messages. And also look out, because there's a great boxer in the making, or he's a boxer. He's got a fight coming up. So I'm going to be doing an interview with him in the next few days. So please look out and let's support our very own Indabasi soon. Just watch this space and we'll let you know when and where the interview. So until then, thank you for tuning in.